Summarizing the most important points. In the header, maximum 4 centimeters. If it's relevant, you can add the photo, and we'll discuss photos in a bit. Contact details in the header. Then we have the profile summary, which should at first sight demonstrate your unique selling proposition, or at least what box to put you into. Then we have experience, then education, and then additional information. First step, when you prepare your CV, focus on the content. So ask yourself, looking at my experience, what is relevant for my target group? What is obvious? What is not obvious? Especially for those who have spent a lot of time in a company or in their own industry. Candidates very often make certain assumptions but it's obvious what an internal something does. And then it's obvious to you, but it might not be obvious to those who rarely recruit positions like that. So challenge the content you already have by asking yourselves, what is obvious? What is not obvious? What is not concrete enough? Is there maybe too much detail? There are still things that need to be mentioned during the interview. I did mention batching of entries. That helps us avoid looking like a jumper, especially if it happens every 1 or 2 years. The way you do that, or to show progress and continuous promotions. And before I show you the example, it's important to not overdo it, especially if you've been with a company more than 7 to 10 years. And here are the examples. So example number 1, we have somebody who's been with a company since August 2013, and you can see it on the progression. So instead of having 4 entries on the CV, I have 1 entry, and I can see senior manager, head of, regional head of, global head of, and the changes happen every year to 2 years. So I went from, oh my God, this person changes every 2 years, no, to, oh, look, somebody is really good and gets promoted. Or in the second example, we first start with the company and then we have the positions, just to show you 2 different approaches to that. When it comes to graphics and layouts, pages 1 to 3, even in the United States, you will now see that more and more people say it's okay to have 2 pages. It is usually up to 2 pages unless you have more than 10 years of experience. Then it's also okay to have 3 CV pages. Photo, it depends. In the US, it is a definite no because of their anti-discrimination laws. And the way we approach photo advice is very practical. If the photo helps you, use it. If it doesn't help you, don't use it. And by help, I mean if it's a good quality photo. If, for example, the photo is about showing positive energy or your caliber or your demeanor, then by all means add it. But if it's adding a photo just because somebody said that you should add it, and you cut out a photo, your favorite photo of a wedding of a friend, no, then it's a definite no. So if photo, then only a professional good photo. And here professional good photo means dress up as you would for an important interview and take the photo, and that's what you then add to the CV. A photo on the CV also helps develop a color scheme for the documents. So if, for example, somebody wears a blue tie, you can use then the color blue from the tie in the titles of the CV, for example. Usually, however, we recommend to stick to 2 to 3 maximum colors, 1 to 2 fonts, and 1 column as discussed. When it comes to colors and fonts, please keep it simple and professional. It is an opportunity to positively stand out. It does add personality and energy. And I've gotten ahead of myself. I do see a slide on graphics with photos. So good quality photo, neutral background. Don't take photos or don't use photos where you're outside. Dressed as if you were to go to an important interview, recognizable in real life. Especially ladies like overdoing it with Photoshop when they have a professional photo shooting. This is not for a magazine. This is for you to be authentic, for you to come across as somebody natural. So when they actually meet you in person, it's not open the door in the conference room like, okay, did I choose the right conference room? Because you're not recognizable. Don't cut out photos from your favorite weddings, parties, etc. And last but not least, please proofread your CV. Here, please do give the CV to your peers and colleagues and neighbors to say, please find all possible mistakes, especially if you've spent a lot of time on your document. Your brain does not register mistakes anymore. So here's some proofreading tips before you give it to your friends and family. Read the CV from bottom to top, and ideally then from right to left. So the inverse, give it to somebody else, use spell check and double check. And here you have a list of all the things you might be checking: margins, spaces, typos, dashes, consistency in how you write repetitive elements like the positions, company names, bullet points, beginning and end of sentences, etc. And last but not least, GDPR. So the thing with GDPR, what to include, what not to include, how does it work? GDPR forces all companies to obtain proper consent from candidates that apply in the European Union. Important, GDPR does not define a correct and unified clause or consent form. So you need to read each company's requirements very carefully when applying directly to job ads. From a candidate's point of view, it is better and more secure to have a clause directly on your CV than to not have one at all. This applies to all countries in the European Union.
Hi, you have just watched a little fragment of all the know-how at Career Angels that goes into finding the best possible job. We have decided to put our know-how into one very thorough and structured course that is now available on Udemy. In that course, we will walk you through all 4 steps of the job hunting process. Step number 1 is about goal setting, realistic goal setting. We will explain career management theory backed by research, as well as walk you through the parameter bidding exercise. Step number 2 is about your unique selling proposition. In other words, how you position yourself on the current job market. Step number 3 is about communicating that in your CV for applicant tracking systems, and your optimized LinkedIn profile. Step number 4, the last step, is about managing and navigating the job hunting channels, meaning how to network, how to apply to job ads, how to contact headhunters, and how to contact and reach out to decision makers at the companies you would like to work for. So in summary, the course is very thorough, explains all our methodology, and is now available on Udemy. Summarizing, our course on Udemy walks you through the 4 steps of the job search process. Why did we decide to publish it? We did that so that your own job search becomes less frustrating, faster, and more effective. If you'd like to check it out, find the link down there in the description.